Russia violates Finnish airspaces Helsinki Mulls NATO, The Moscow Times.
Here's a summary of the article.
A Russian army helicopter violated Finland's airspace on Wednesday, the Finnish Defence Ministry said, as the country mulls an increasingly likely NATO membership bid. The aircraft type is a Mi-17 helicopter and the depth of the suspected violation is about 4 to 5 kilometers, a ministry spokesman told AFP. This is the second Russian airspace violation this year, following a previous one in April, both of them coming in the wake of the war in Ukraine. A civilian transport plane belonging to the Russian army briefly entered Finnish airspace on April 8. Experts have warned that Finland and Sweden would likely be subjected to Russian acts of interference as they consider whether to join NATO as a deterrent against aggression from their eastern neighbour. 4 Russian fighter jets violated Swedish airspace in early March near Sweden's strategically located island of Gotland in the Baltic Sea. A large majority of Finnish MPs and the public are in favour of joining the Atlantic Alliance, and Finnish President Sauli Niinisto is to announce his personal stance on the issue on May 12. Finnish Prime Minister Sanna Marin said Wednesday her government's decision would be made quite soon, and could come within days according to Finnish media.
This post received a score of 14,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Yeah, what better way to show your peaceful intentions, Russia?
This is what I don't get. If you want them to not be in NATO, you try to pacify them.
When the only solution you have is a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. Turns out that hammer was made of cottage cheese all along.
They got their hammer from the Chinesium sub.
Greater than Chinesium sub. That's a pretty fancy way of saying harbor freight.
They're not rich enough to afford harbor freight.
Harbor freight when you need something to work once.
Harbor freight gets undeserved hate. It's just fine for DIY people who need a tool for the occasional job. I have many power tools from HF that I've had and used for years, and paid 1/2 or less than a comparable tool from anywhere else. In that time I've had exactly one power tool break, which was 100% user error. They are also fine for most hand tools if you don't get the cheapest option they sell. Of course for shit like 18V drills that get used a shitload, get something better.
Don't they also have a ridiculous return policy or something? I feel like I've heard of people breaking their harbor freight shit, bringing it back and swapping it out for a new one till that one breaks, and on and on.
Didn't Turkey shoot down a Russian jet that violated their airspace?
Yeah, and that jet only violated like 13 seconds or something. Turkey doesn't mess around.
Exactly. I see these news every other day that Russian violates airspace of neighbor if countries, and they do nothing about it.
They violate the airspace of many European countries. We send up jets to shoo them away, usually does the trick. Bit of a game to see how fast the response times are, I believe.
Probably better to show them how fast we can scramble jets than to let them test the behavior of our SAM and other defense systems.
If Russia was a capable modern military, absolutely. But given what we've seen, I don't know how much they could do with that data. Sell it to China maybe?
What do you mean, how much could they do with that data? They can directly determine how long they have for a NATO response. Even a dysfunctional military would find that data useful?
Honest question, after Turkey started shooting them down, do they still attempt to penetrate their airspace? No, they stopped.
The myth of the Russian army has been shattered. These kinds of intimidation tactics just don't have the bite they used to.
Look, Vlad, we don't care if you come into our airspace. Just please try not to drop any parts off that duct tape together MiG, okay?
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.